Okay, so good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's session, which is the Beginner's Guide to Facebook Advertising. If everybody could just make sure their mics are muted, just to avoid any feedback or anything. And I just wanted to let you know that we'll be recording this session so that we can share it with you all afterwards. So this Beginner's Guide to Facebook Advertising is part of a wider campaign that we're doing called Back to Business, where we're basically offering a range of offers and free advice to businesses who are looking to do sales and marketing as we come out of lockdown. So let's just start. So today we'll be covering the basics of Facebook advertising. I can't cover everything, obviously, in today's session, but I'll be going through how you can set up a Facebook campaign, an introduction into Facebook kind of audience targeting, and then how you can optimize and measure performance.
Morning.
I just wanted to tell you all a little bit about us. MNA Digital are a marketing agency in Wolverhampton. We're brought to you by MNA Media, who are the publisher of the Express and Star and Shropshire Star. And they've been working with local businesses for over 140 years. We specialise in web design, paid search, SEO, and obviously social media. And hopefully you find today's session helpful. So let's get started. So first of all, why should you advertise on Facebook? So really the first thing is that it's just got so many users. There's over 2 billion active users on Facebook, so whatever your audience, you'll probably find them on there. It's also really easy to get started with advertising. It doesn't cost that much, so whatever kind of the size of your business or your budget, you can kind of get started and reach new people through an advertising campaign. Depending on what your objective, there are a number of ways you can target people. The audience targeting is kind of second to none. And it's pretty easy to kind of measure and track success from your campaigns. It's also important to advertise on Facebook because it's so hard nowadays to reach people organically.
Great. Yeah.
Could everyone just make sure they're muted, just in case we're getting any feedback? Really, there's no kind of set figure, but they say you can only reach about 10% of your organic audience. So when you post on Facebook on your page, you're probably only reaching about 10% of people. Some of you might have tried boosted posts to kind of increase that reach sort of as one-offs, and they're good kind of for low spend things and one-offs that you're looking to do. But really for a more strategic campaign and to start to see kind of measurable results, you want to do advertising campaigns, which is what I'll be focusing on today. So when you're looking to get started with Facebook advertising, there are 3 things that you need to kind of do before you dive straight in. The first is to decide on your marketing objectives. So what are you looking to achieve from these campaigns? And also your budget. So how much are you looking to spend and how much can you afford to spend? You'll then want to, if you haven't already, you need to set up a Facebook business page. So you might right now just be marketing your business through like a personal page. And to advertise, you'll need to actually have a business page set up. And if you do already have a page set up, you want to make sure it's optimized. So kind of the levels of what you can do are constantly changing. So although you might have optimized it when you first set it up, there could be new features that you haven't taken advantage of. So you just want to make sure everything is kind of filled in and you're showcasing your business in the best way. And then the last thing is that you want to set up Facebook Business Manager. So that's kind of like a central hub for all your advertising, or your billing, your audiences, that kind of thing. So it can be a bit tricky setting up your business manager, and I'm not going to go into that today just because we don't really have time, but we have got a downloadable step-by-step guide that we'll be sharing with everybody after this that shows you how to do it. So when you're setting up a Facebook campaign, you'll see that it's kind of structured in this way here. So the top level is that campaign, and that's where you decide on your objective and what you're trying to achieve with your adverts. Below that, you then have your ad sets, and that's where you decide on kind of your audience targeting, your budget, that kind of thing. And then below that, you have your adverts. So that's what people actually see on your Facebook campaign. So we're going to go into each of those steps now. So the first bit, as I mentioned, is choosing your objective. And there's three kind of objectives you can choose from. The first is awareness. So that's kind of pretty self-explanatory. It's that brand awareness or reach. And it's just kind of where you're trying to get people to know about who you are as a business. And it's that first level of the marketing funnel. You've then got consideration. So that's where you're looking to kind of drive traffic to your website, or you can do like lead generation form fills on a Facebook ad, or you could get people to message you and kind of inquire about your business. And then the final stage is conversion. So that's kind of where you're actually getting people to take an action on your website. So that could be you're tracking whether somebody fills out a form on your website or actually buys a product if you've got an e-commerce store. Or if you want to as well, you can actually drive traffic to your physical store location, which you can now do now we're kind of out of lockdown. And then just a tip for kind of at this stage is you want to make sure you name all your campaigns and your objectives really clearly, because when you come back to it and you try and measure kind of performance, if you're not organised, it'll be quite difficult to see kind of what you've been doing. So the next step is creating your ad sets, and that's where you decide on who you want to target and what budget you want to spend. And you can also choose where you want your adverts to appear. So whether you want them to be on Instagram, whether you want them to be in Facebook stories, or if you just kind of want like an in-feed advert. So when it comes to setting your advertising budget, you kind of want to take into account what can you actually afford to spend, and what is the return on investment for you. So kind of, I think when we talk to people sometimes, £500 for an advertising campaign on Facebook can sound really expensive, especially if you're used to just doing like boosted posts for £10 here and there. But you want to put it into perspective. So obviously, if a sale is actually worth like £2,000 to you, then £500 for a whole month campaign really isn't that much. So it's good to understand exactly what your return on investment will be. And also, how much does it usually cost you to acquire a customer? So when you do kind of print advertising or display or other types of advertising, it's good to kind of have that in mind and to use that when you're getting started on Facebook. And then the objective you're optimizing for, so those kind of objectives I just spoke about, depending on which one you're looking to do, your advert might cost more. So that early stage of brand awareness, it's pretty cheap to advertise. And even driving traffic to your site doesn't cost that much. But when you're looking to do like a lead generation campaign or actually to get a sale on your website, you'll find that costs a little bit more. And then I've just got a tip that we use for our campaigns, is that when you choose your budget, you can see here, you'll have the kind of a drop down and you've got the option of lifetime budget or daily budget. We always recommend to book your campaigns by a daily budget. It just helps kind of spread the spend more evenly, because sometimes Facebook will struggle to spend your money. And then when it gets to the end of the month, it'll just suddenly like chuck out loads of ads to try and reach the target that they talked about. So we recommend doing it daily. So split your monthly budget across like 30.4 days, which is like the average number of days in a month. So the third step is to define your target audience, and this is really where Facebook's strengths come to play. So you can choose to either target by retargeting kind of existing people that your business knows. So you can do that by uploading like a customer file. If you have a list of customer email addresses, you could either retarget to them. So if they visited your site and not taken action, you could show an advert with an offer, encouraging them to sign up. Or you could create like a lookalike audience from that. So people who visit your website regularly, I want to target people who are similar to that. Or you could just do a completely new audience created by like tailoring people on their location, genders, ages, and even languages. So there's also the more detailed targeting where you can do it based on people's interests. So if you were a recruitment company and you were looking to target people for a specific job role. You can target people like who are already in that job right now, or are acting like somebody who's looking for a job. It's really detailed, and you'll find kind of as you enter in different interests, Facebook will also come up with suggestions that are similar to what you're looking for. But like I said earlier, you can pretty much target by anything that you're looking to achieve. You can even target people who already like your page if you're looking to get a particular message out to your followers. And what's quite good is as you add in your targeting, based on the budget you set originally, it will give you kind of an estimation of like the potential reach for your campaign. So kind of what those estimated daily results are and what you can expect to achieve. And they're good to keep those in mind when you're measuring your campaign performance, but they are really rough estimates. So the fourth step is choosing your campaign creative. So this is where you'll decide what kind of advert you want to deliver on Facebook and what creative you want to add. So generally you want to have that in mind before you get to this stage. So you want to have created the advert, whether that's kind of an actual sort of design or just stock imagery that you're using. And you want to make sure that that matches the Facebook ad specifications. So there's specific sizes and formats that Facebook need that you can find online. You'll need those so that your advert shows nicely on Facebook. You'll also add in your advert text. So you've got 3 types of advert text. You've got your primary text, which is the bit that you kind of appear before the image, which I'll show you on the next slide. You've also got your headline, which is kind of a bolder text here. And then under that, you can have another description. You'll also choose your call to action. So there's kind of like a number of different call to actions you can have. So it could be learn more, shop now, sign up. It just depends on what you're trying to achieve with that campaign. So as I mentioned, there's a number of different ad formats that you can choose for Facebook. These are the 3 most popular. So you've got kind of a single image ad here where this is your primary text. You've got kind of your ad copy, you've got an image, your headline, and then your description and your call to action. The carousel ad is probably the most successful ad on Facebook, just because you can kind of, it's a bit more engaging. People want to see what that next slide shows. You have like 4 to 5 image slides generally, and you can showcase like different services that you offer and different products. And then the final one that I'm going to talk about today is the lead ads. So those are kind of, they look like a single image ad on Facebook, but when you click on the like shop now or sign up button, it actually opens a form and it's pre-populated with like the person's information on Facebook, so their name and number and everything. So they're really good because they're just so quick to complete and generally kind of convert better than sort of driving somebody to your website. Just a couple of points to kind of get the most from your advert. So you want to make sure that your advert matches whatever your objective is. So if you're looking to generate leads, you probably want to try the lead ads. If you're looking to drive traffic, the single image or the carousel work quite well. And when you're writing your ad copy and deciding on your imagery, you want to make sure that you're really clearly showing what you're offering. You keep it simple and to the point. You show what the benefits are and what you want people to do. So whether that's kind of a call to action or you want people to call you or send you a message, you've got a really clear call to action for them to follow. So the final step is measuring success. So again, this is a really strong point of using Facebook. The reporting is really useful. In Business Manager, you kind of get this dashboard and you can really clearly see all the different campaigns that you're running, whether they're live or not, and what the results are. So you can see kind of what the reach is, how many people are seeing your advert, how many people have clicked on it, and how much you're spending. You can also filter it by date and compare kind of how this month is performing to last year or whatever time range you're trying to compare. So as part of measuring that success, it's really important to optimize your campaigns. I think sometimes people turn on these adverts and feel like within a week, if they're not achieving what they wanted to, if they're not getting loads of sales, they just turn it off, it's not working. But it takes time. For Facebook to optimize, they'll kind of optimize your campaigns to achieve what you're trying to, because they want to make more money from you, so they want that to work. And they need to learn the kind of people that are going to act when they see your ad. And also you want to create a funnel. So it's really easy to sort of just target your advertising at that bottom of the funnel stage where you want a purchase, you want an inquiry, but it's good to kind of do all levels. So having that brand awareness campaign, that consideration stage. That's my dog, sorry. And also continue to optimize. So run A/B tests, test out how that creative works, how the ad copy performs, different audiences might interact in different ways. So take the time to try out different methods. So in summary, kind of the key top tips are continually optimize your Facebook page. There are always going to be new features available, so keep an eye on those. Don't neglect that top of the funnel marketing, so make sure you're doing your brand awareness pieces. You want to make sure that your adverts are clear and to the point. I haven't touched on it too much today, but you want to use a Facebook pixel, and that's basically a bit of code that you can add into your website. Your web developer should be able to add that in for you, but it basically kind of tracks how many people are clicking on your ad and actually visiting your site and how they're performing. Test everything, check that, try out different audiences, try out different creative, and track and optimize performance to make sure you're getting the most of your money. So that's kind of it for today, but just to end on, there's a lot to kind of cover, there's a lot to kind of do to get the most out of your Facebook business account. So we're offering people, if they want some support with that, we can do it, and we'll provide you 2 free months of ad management when you sign up to a 6-month campaign as part of our Back to Business offer. So if anyone's interested in that, we'll send you an email with all the details and you can get in touch. So thank you for watching. I don't know if anybody has any questions over what I've covered today. Okay, I don't think so.
yeah, I did. Actually, I've got one now. You know, when you were saying about defining the target audience and everything, and how tight can you actually get that geographic? Like, if you're looking at a specific geographic, how tight, and specific can you be with that?
Really specific. So you can kind of, on the map level, you can go by, town or city. And you can also upload postcodes. So if there's particular postcodes that you're looking to target, you can do that as well.
Okay, that's cool. Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
No worries. We also offer, if anybody has kind of questions they'd like to ask afterwards or more specific advice, we do offer free marketing audits. So we can look at kind of how your Facebook is performing at the moment and give our suggestions more specific to kind of what you actually do. So thank you, everybody. We'll send you a recording of this campaign. And again, if you'd like that offer of free management, we can provide that for you.